Currently, the U.S. federal government is only providing less than 4% of funding towards pediatric cancer, while the other 96% goes towards adult cancers. This is a problem because currently pediatric cancer is the #1 killer of children by disease in the U.S., and there are 43 children diagnosed each day in this country. Now, the question is, how does the lack of funding affect our kids and the treatments that they go through? There are many different subtypes of each pediatric cancer, although there are not enough treatments to thoroughly help and treat each one. Currently, childhood cancer survivors have a 54% chance of developing a severe or life-threatening chronic health condition because of the limited treatments and how they affect their bodies. There are many different organizations out there who aim to help those fighting against pediatric cancer. One of those is Cal's Angels. Their goal is to fight the war against pediatric cancer. Their main points are to grant wishes, bring awareness, and fund research for pediatric cancer. These are one of the organizations that you could help donate to. Following is an interview of Ryan Collins, who underwent pediatric cancer.
This is a pediatric cancer interview with Ryan Collins and his mom, Becca Collins. First question: in what way has pediatric cancer affected your childhood?
My friends weren't patient for me to heal, and they kind of just stopped being my friends and moved on and don't talk to me anymore.
Yeah, I would completely agree. That would be one of the main ways I would say it has affected you. And I think that leads into number 2 and how it has affected your relationships. It definitely has affected your friendships. Can you describe the treatments you went through and how they affected you? Let's start first with your radiation.
It stunted my growth, and then it burnt all my hair follicles or hair cells.
Yeah. And it stunted your growth because they had to do radiation not just to your brain, but also to your spine, right? And you currently just have some of your hair back, but not very much of it. And then you also had chemo, right? And that just really kind of made you sick.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And then you also went to New York for a treatment, and you had the radioimmunotherapy, right? Do you want to talk about what that was, or do you want me to?
Can you?
Yep, that's where they injected this radioimmunotherapy drug into this Amaya reservoir that he has in his head, and it he had to do that twice, once in January and 4 times, twice in January and twice in June, right around the time that COVID started, and he was actually radioactive during that time and had to stay about 3 feet away from us for a couple of days. So we had to kind of stay put in New York for a little while and enjoy New York City a little bit. Those were the 3 treatments that he had for about a year, almost 2 years worth. Number 4, what sort of services did you receive and still are provided to you to help you throughout your journey?
I had a home health nurse that came over once or twice.
A couple times a week.
Yeah, and to draw blood and
draw blood regularly during treatment.
Yeah, that.
And after for a while.
Yeah.
And then you also get school services.
Yeah.
For processing delays that was
processing
caused.
disorder.
delays for because of the treatments that you went through. It just takes you longer to do things and to learn things than it does before he went through his treatments. How has the limited amount of funding affected your treatments? Well, do you think you would have had different outcome? The different treatment, you would have had different treatments, which would have led to less, what's the word, less issues after the fact, right?
Yeah.
You would have had, let's see, you would have had your hair. If there was better funding, you'd have your hair, right?
Yeah.
You would not be on growth hormone.
Yeah.
Right, because you would have kept growing. You wouldn't have stopped. You would not have had to go to New York for a third treatment.
Yes.
You would not have thyroid problems now, right?
Yeah.
If they had adequate funding like they do for adults and came up with drugs as readily as they do for adults, because the drugs that they gave you are essentially the same drugs that they give to adults. So, but they just put it in pint-sized bodies like kids. Yeah, and that's why, and it's unfortunate that you guys only get 4%, less than. Last question is, where are you now, and how are you moving forward? So where are you now in your treatment and your cancer?
Finished. Stable.
How often are you getting your MRIs?
Once every 4 months.
Good. And how are you moving forward?
I don't really know how I'm moving forward.
Is it hard to move forward? Yeah, because you're still kind of stuck in it, right? Because of all the after effects, right? So we're moving forward. He's seeing a therapist, right? He's seeing a physical therapist to help him keep moving and get stronger. So those are ways that we're moving forward. Thank you.
So what can you do to help fight the war against pediatric cancer? There are many things that you can do. All the one thing is to call or email your local senator and reach out to your representative, giving your thoughts and demanding action in support of pediatric cancer.